And everything that she wanted to say and do to him, she did to me as a child. Yeah, I don't speak to my mother anymore, or my sister. Yes, I don't speak to any of my family. There was 5 children. 3 of us were adopted, they had 2. I don't speak to any of them. Because they're all narcissists, and I was always the scapegoat child. It was hard because my father not always being there, I felt like she was all I had. I understand that. My father was gone all the time. I mean, he wasn't in prison, but he was gone all the time. He was, quote, quote, on business trips. Wow, yes, same with my mother. She felt like I was abandoning her like her mother did. My mother, she didn't care. I stopped calling her, she didn't care. It didn't matter to her. But she was a narcissist, so she just played a victim role.
Explain what you discovered.
But I discovered a lot to do with my mother. I discovered why she became a narcissist. She became a narcissist because it was learned behavior. She didn't grow up in a very loving, empathetic home. Then she married a man that came from the same upbringing. So, that comes from generation to generation. It follows down your roots. So, with her, she wasn't capable of loving. She wasn't even capable of empathy because she didn't know. And yeah, I mean, in my mind, I was like, well, you're older than me. How can you not know this? How can you not see this? But I started to understand through the awakening, through my own experiences, through my own egos, through my own trauma, through my own problems. It was really life-changing. Well, when I was in the house and would be distant, she felt like I was abandoning her, but she was abused. Father committed suicide when she was 11. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for that.
So the whole point is understanding her mother. You understand her blockage.
Now she doesn't care too much and plays a victim role too. Yes, that's how my mother is. She's a victim. And then she tells people, why does she say so many lies? Why does she lie about me? I'm not lying about her. It's the truth. But I wrote a letter recently to her. I haven't talked to her in a year. I wrote a letter to her and basically told her, I understand why you were the way you were. I understand that you wanted love, that you weren't getting the unconditional love that you wanted. But also the fact that you didn't even know how to be empathetic. You didn't even know how to love a child, nor love yourself. And I understand every time that he went out and cheated on you or did what he did, it altered your soul a little bit each time.
If she can master forgiving her mother, she'll get stronger abilities.
And if you can master, if you haven't already, forgiving your mother, then you're going to get stronger abilities. Because you're going to be more clear in the head. You'll be more conscious. That's what it took me. Even my brother that violated me, I wrote him a letter and told him how he changed my life and how it started at such a young age. And all the things that he did was wrong and inappropriate. And it shouldn't have been done that way. And that he needs to get help for his problem. Yeah, it's been like 2 years now since I've talked to her. And what you said in the letter was facts. Yeah, that's good. You released that. Mm-hmm. Actually, when I was writing the letter and reading it, my husband with his abilities actually saw me releasing a lot. Like literally like shadows coming out. Because she was one of my biggest egos.
As far as if she knows about auras, you were releasing the black auras and filling them with purple aura. Is my vision.
Yeah, I've forgiven her because I'm aware it was a cycle of abuse passed down from generation to generation. Now I'm breaking the cycle. Yes, me too. Because to be honest with you, we have a 20-year-old daughter, and she doesn't talk to me because she was my mother. I had my daughter at 18. She basically took over and didn't let me be a mother. And every time she could get me for smoking pot, she would take my daughter from me. She would call Child Protective Services and take my daughter from me. So our daughter, is so brainwashed that now at 20 years old, we don't even have a relationship. And she's spiraling fast. She's had a drug addiction. She's had this. She's had that. But she's been raised basically by my narcissistic mother. I don't know a lot about auras, but I'm learning as I learn about the chakras. Yes, like my root chakra was the hardest chakra for me to get aligned because I had to let go of my false roots and my false belief systems. But like my mother has basically like brainwashed my daughter. My daughter blames me for every problem she has in life, and unfortunately we don't have a relationship. Yes, that's why I would never want my mother around my kids, and almost didn't want kids, but I feel like I can someday now that I've learned to heal a lot. Yes, you're going to be an awesome mom because you have healed. You do know the knowledge. You are aware. I know, I hope she comes around someday too, because I would love to awaken her and bring her to her higher self. And show her that all the traumatic things that happened to her were not her fault. I would love to help her. But all I can do is put my hope in the universe.
You can activate her with the letter.
But also, with these letters I am writing, I'm activating them. I am literally activating them. Where my words go in their mind and they actually have epiphanies. Good or bad, they're still going to have epiphanies. The way I worded my letters, the knowledge I put in, especially knowledge that I learned from my husband, I put those in the letters because what it does is it activates people. You can activate people with your words. Saying the right words, and you gotta be authentic. And me, I was very authentic. I was very honest. Yes, when you write, it's a spell. Yes, it can be.
Okay.
So, but it was hard for me. But I wrote letters. Like, I had to release. And even if it doesn't do anything for them, it was a release for me. Which I needed. I needed that release. I needed to have them stop weighing down on me all the time. It was getting exhausting. And it had literally like withered my soul down to nothing. I was full of anger. I was full of hurt. I treated my husband like everybody that had traumatized me. I did not treat him like himself.
Somebody's thinking about their beliefs.
It was very hard.
If it's not you, it's her.
So it's just we have to evaluate our beliefs. But I only have 13 seconds remaining. But I would love to continue to talk. If you'd like to video chat, we could.
Video chat live. We can figure out some of the egos she can take care of.
Oh, live video I don't want to share this because this is more private for her, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she obviously has some questions. She hears you in the background just to let you know everything's there.
Mm-hmm. How do you...
Don't share, just go out of it.
Just go out of it, right?
Yeah, you don't want to share that. I mean, we're talking about her trauma, her abuse.
It's over, right?
Yes.
So there was 3 people in that chat, right? I said there was 3 people in there.
I don't know who else was in there. I only saw her. There's 3 people that came in the chat, but your person left. I even sent them a message that sorry if I offended you. I mean, I don't think that was bad. Even if it changed one person's life, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
But she said a lot of